Lost generation. So I just did the don't talk to the police video. It got me hyped up a little bit. I just came up with a quick list. This isn't comprehensive, not comprehensive. I'm going to come up with some more of these lists in the future, but things you don't do. You just don't do it. All right? My merry band of 30 something subscribers. You just don't do it. I'm going to start with the most serious ones first, and we'll get some more lighthearted ones. Okay, this one's especially for you younger people that may happen across this video in the nether regions of YouTube. Things you don't do. You don't sign things that you haven't read. I'm just going to say that one more time to reinforce it. If you haven't read the document, you don't sign it. You do not sign it. Someone hands you a packet of papers and says, sign here. You check into the doctor's office. They say, just sign here. You don't sign it without reading it. And this leads into a pet peeve of mine. This is probably the one thing that makes me the angriest, even in my, I'm a little bit older and more mature now. I don't really get angry a lot, but one of the things that makes me want to hit people, and I have to control myself, is when someone gives you a piece of paper and they tell you, oh, just sign here, and you're reading it, and then they take their pen and they're like, just sign there, and they're just, oh, just sign it, just sign it, just sign it. It makes me just want to punch someone, because I would never expect that of anyone else, right? You could be handed some paperwork, not read it, sign it, find out later you just sign up for a loan. I mean, I've seen it. This isn't a joke. I've seen that happen to people. They tried to pull that on me one time at a new dentist's office, actually. And, I need dental care quite a bit. I'm Scottish and English, and I got the bad tooth gene and all that. But I go in, and they hand me some paperwork. They don't explain anything. Just sign here, just sign here. I start reading it. The whole packet is a financial loan program for a procedure that I didn't even need. And I was 17 or 18 at the time. If I had signed that, I could have just ruined my credit for no reason. And the worst part is, is I could have afforded the procedure out of my pocket anyways. So they were just a loan mill trying to hook young people into signing up for these egregious loans at 20-something% interest. And, it goes beyond that too. Just documents are legally binding once you sign them. So you don't sign them without reading them. Okay? Lease agreement, contract, anything you come across you have to sign. I don't care if it's a routine piece of paperwork at a bank or wherever, you don't sign it until you read it. Okay. Let me see which one I want to. Oh, so as far as the serious ones, right? Road rage. You just don't do it. Believe me, I've got many stories I could tell that I can't tell. I can't tell them on YouTube. I can't even talk about them. But road rage is egregious, number one. Whatever happened, it's not worth the fallout of whatever you're going to do on the side of the road. Believe me. I wish I could relay a couple of these stories to you of my personal experience, but I just can't. I can't, folks. Some things happened. Some things happened that involved violence, involved potential violence with weapons, and I just can't talk about it. But that's how quickly it will escalate on the side of the road. And it's crazy because road rage, it just escalates immediately. It goes from 0 to 100 in just the blink of an eye. I mean, people get out of the car and they're swinging wrenches, and it's crazy. And it's over really nothing. You just don't do it. You don't participate in road rage. And Took me a while to figure that out because there's certainly a few times that I pulled over on the side of the road, and I wish that I hadn't in retrospect, but you could get out, right? You have no idea who that person is. You have no idea who it is. You have no idea if they're armed. You have no idea if there's other people in the car sometimes. There's just so much that could go wrong. Or if fate wants to deal you an evil hand, you could just get out on the side of the highway and have some drunk mow you down. I mean, it happens to police all the time. It could happen to you while you're out there arguing. There's just so much can go wrong with road rage. And I can tell you one story about my brother. And this might be a little wake-up call for you. So one day, the house gets a phone call, and it's my brother, and he's all freaked out. And what happened is he got into a road rage incident on the highway, got pulled over, got into a fight with a guy, and hit him once, knocked him out cold. And most of the times, anyone that's been in violent situations knows most knockouts, they come right back around in a few seconds or less. Sometimes they come back around as soon as they're knocked out. Sometimes it takes a few seconds. But most knockouts, they'll come back around pretty quickly. This guy just didn't come back around. I mean, he was out flat cold on the side of the highway. And I mean, he was out for so long that my brother had to move his body over to his vehicle. And my brother didn't know what to do, so he called, and luckily the guy didn't die. But what if he had died? What if you pull over, you hit a guy, he goes down, and he's dead over, overtaking too close or whatever, tailgating. I've seen cases where this actually happened down the road I live on a long time ago. Someone got out, got hit with a crowbar, and then his buddy stole his car. So he's left on the side of the highway, no car. And this is back when cell phones weren't really super popular. He was out cold on the side of the road. His car is missing. He has no way to get help, nothing. But people get shot, people get stabbed, hit with blunt objects all the time over road rage. And there's nothing that's actually worth that. You could be doing years in prison over these activities. You could stop with the wrong car and a whole bunch of thugs get out. I mean, you never know what's going to happen. So, road rage, you don't do it. You don't sign things you don't read. You don't commit to road rage. You can get angry, but don't get out of the car. You just don't do it. We'll go on to the more lighthearted things. When you are in a store, this is for all of you, this has no age boundary. This is just whether you're an asshole or not. When you go into a store, if you take something off the shelf, put it back in the same spot you took it from. You don't take it off and then just fling it wherever. And it's incredibly rude. Incredibly rude. Both to the people that work at the store itself as an entity, and especially other customers. I can't stand when I go into a store and I see some a-hole pulling things off of the rack, off of the shelf, off of the peg, looking at it, and then just throwing it wherever. The next guy that comes in might need that. Just have a little common courtesy. Do your due diligence and scan the shelf for where you took the item from. Or, I know this is a novel idea, you take an item, you commit it to memory where you took it from, and then when you're done looking at it, you put it back. And this is like a double you don't do it for the assholes that take the things off of the shelf, open it up, and then just leave it sitting there, all opened up and everything. I mean, how would you feel if I came into your house and I took a shit in the toilet and I plugged your toilet and I just didn't do anything about it? And then I walked out of the bathroom saying, hey, they got people that take care of that. I don't have to do it, someone else will. They got someone to plunge that toilet. Yeah, the homeowner. And then the next guy that comes in and wants to use the toilet, well, guess what? You can't use the toilet. Have a little common courtesy. You just don't do it. And speaking of toilets, public bathrooms, quit behaving like animals. What is wrong with you people? Seriously. I've had some, let's just say, emergencies in my lifetime, but I have never, ever in my life managed to get feces all over the floor, the wall, all over the toilet, but not in it. I mean, and trust me, if you ever worked a retail job, you wouldn't believe the things human beings are capable of once they feel like they're in a private area in that bathroom. I mean, we're talking about people writing on the wall in feces, people writing on the mirrors and walls in menstrual blood. It's grotesque, and I don't know how we got here, people. I don't know how we got here. You just you just don't do it. You don't shit on the wall. You don't shit on the floor. You don't shit all over the back of the toilet. It's crazy that I even have to say this, but you just don't do it, folks. You just don't do it. And this is one of the final ones. This one drives me absolutely out of my mind. When you walk into someone's house, you don't walk in with your shoes on. You just don't do it. You don't do it. I don't even ask people. I just take my shoes off. Because there's some people, oh, you can wear my shoes in here, and I don't even really agree with that. I don't agree with people that wear shoes in their own house for any reason. And what I've found is most of the people that wear shoes in their home, their domicile, their abode, it's usually something that's rented. So ultimately, they don't really care. Most people that have their own home don't wear shoes and boots in it. And I know this is crazy, but when you walk around outside, you're stepping on animal shit, and you're stepping on insects, and you're stepping on little pieces of gravel. Well, if you step in little pieces of gravel and it's stuck in your shoe and you walk in on my wood floor, that's messed up, man. Come on. You walk in some dog shit, walk on someone's carpet, you're walking through the mud and you're getting all the grout in their tiles. That's a douchebag move. Let's just be honest. It's a real douchebag move. And, at least ask. At least ask what the policy is. Ask, but assume that you take the shoes off. We're human beings. We have homes. Shoes are for outside, not for in your home. It's manners. I might have to do a whole manners video because apparently manners are not being taught at home by mommy and daddy. You don't walk into people's homes with your shoes on. You don't just take stuff and leave it wherever you want. You don't shit on their toilet but not in it. I mean, this is just common sense, people. Lost Jen, I'm out.